Okay, you're ready for your job as an electrical engineer. For this task, the road trip task, your job is to wire the motor and the lamp to the interface. Don't forget that the output devices go into M1, M2, M3, M4, those ports. So this video is going to teach you how to prepare the wires and the plugs, where to actually plug them in on the model, and where to plug them in on the interface. And then we'll talk a little bit about how to test your wiring too with the interface test and see how well you did. So let's get going. For this portion, you're going to need a screwdriver, some plugs, both green and red, and some wire. So we need to prepare the wire and your plugs and put these two things together. But what we need to get to is the copper and expose that copper underneath this insulated part of the wire. You might have noticed, but there's a green side and a red side to this wire, which is very handy. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a pair of scissors, if this isn't already prepared for you, and you're going to cut right in the middle of those two colors, just a little bit, just a little notch. And okay, I can't do it at that angle, so you're just going to have to trust me. You're just going to make a little notch. I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, like that. And then you're going to pull these apart a little bit. There we go. Just about that much. Nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to expose some of that copper at the end of this wire. So you're going to take the scissors again. This time you're not going to cut all the way through the wire. You are just going to gently make a little notch there. And then that will allow you to pull the little insulation off. Okay, maybe I need to make my notch a little bit better. I just don't want to cut through the copper wires underneath it. And you're going to pull that off. Ooh, yeah. And now that'll expose the copper underneath. And the copper is what is going to be going into your plug here. So let me reset and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, once you have both sides of your wire stripped and you have a little bit of copper showing, you're going to grab one of your plugs. I'm going to start with the green one. There's this cute little screw on the side here, and you're going to use this cute, adorable little screwdriver. You're going to loosen that screw. Don't take it all the way out because otherwise it's really easy to get lost because it's just so tiny and cute. But you want to unscrew it enough so that this green wire with the copper on the end of it will fit in the end of your plug there. Shove it in there. And then hold it in there. I'm going to re-tighten the screw. This is very difficult. This is the worst part. Tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. And that way, the wire is stuck into the plug. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side, and then your plugs will be attached. I'll show you a picture in a second. Okay, so we're going to plug these beautiful wires into your model that you just prepared. You might have noticed, but there's little holes in the lamp here, and there's little holes in the motor as well, and that's exactly where these plugs are going to go. It doesn't really matter on the lamp and the motor where the red one goes and where the green one goes, as long as you get them in there. I will caution you that if the wires pull out, you're going to have to put them back in again, and that sucks. So just be really gentle. But look, those are all plugged in. There's my lamp. And then, oops, and then take the motor ones, the red and the green, and voila! I've got my wires in. Now I like to pull these back so that they're kind of out of the way. So they can both go back like that. And now your model is wired. Pretty nice. Let's go plug this into the interface. All right, here's my interface, and I've got my lamp and my motor plugged in. Lamp is over here, so this is plugged into M1. Got my green and my red plug in there. And then for the motor, I've got it plugged into M2, and then right below it as well. That's all you need plugged in for this task. lamp and motor. If you do that and the motor outputs, then you're set. Once your wires are all plugged in, you want to make sure that they're plugged in correctly. So you can do something called the interface test. Up on the toolbar in RoboPro, there's a button that says Test. You'll click on that, and then this window will come up that says Interface Test. First thing you should take a look at is if your power supply and USB is plugged in properly. If that bar at the bottom is green and says running, you're good to go as far as those two things happen. Up at the top, you can check your outputs, M1 through M4. So for example, if I just click on the CW or CCW button, the light will go on if it's connected properly. Ah, nice. And I'll just click the stop button. So we know that the lamp is correctly wired. That's great. As far as the motor goes, if I go to the M2 one and I click on counterclockwise, my tires should go backwards. Woo! That's fast. If I click on clockwise, they should go forward. Whew, that's fast. So I've got everything wired correctly, and I know that because I checked the interface test, which is great. So now we can actually test the program and my model together, and the electricity, the electrical, whatever. Okay, let's try it. So, because we have the problem of limited space and limited wiring, I put my car on a lovely column, and you can do the same thing. In fact, I would suggest it. And so you can see how the program will run. You're going to see the front tires spin because they're the ones that are attached to the gearbox, which is attached to the motor. But the back ones aren't going to spin when I'm off the table because it's not attached to anything. So you'll just kind of have to deal with that. Here we go. Well, now excuse me, you're in my way, thank you. Now it's your turn. You're ready to go wire, you're ready to go put everything together. I know, sweetie. And I'm gonna go play ball with Fiona, because it's her turn. So, good luck, have fun, you're ready for anything now.